Hello guys, welcome to this video. My name is Mahesh. In this session, we are going to see one more machine learning project, and the project name would be loan approval prediction. So the main intention of this project is I'm going to demonstrate how to deploy a machine learning algorithm in the EC2 instance, that is Amazon AWS EC2 instance. Fine. So I'm going to use some basic data set which is having 5 columns like gender, married, and so on, and the outcome is we have to just predict whether the loan will be approved or rejected. Fine. So this is the raw data, how it looks like, and this is the process. So before getting inside this, let me just explain the basic things. So for any kind of machine learning project, or before training and machine learning algorithm, few of the steps has to be followed. Like the very first step is data ingestion step. So let me just formulate the problem statement. And the problem statement would be, we'll be having the data like gender, married, income, as well as loan amount. Based on this data, we are going to classify, or we are going to predict whether the loan or the application will be approved or rejected. So it is a classification problem. So what kind of classification? That is binary classification. Why? Because the outcome is 2, either true or false. Fine. So as I told, in any kind of machine learning project, no, we have to follow some certain steps. So the step 1 is data ingestion. So data ingestion part is, we'll be having a raw data, we'll just load the data to our environment. Next, second step is data pre-processing part. So why? Because we'll be having raw data which is not well structured. Maybe like we might be having some missing values, we might be having outliers in our current data, so we have to just handle all these things. So all these things will be taken care in the data pre-processing part. Next, so once we just do the data pre-processing, so our data will be in a proper structure. But when it comes to any kind of machine learning model, we have to just feed only numbers. It won't be working on the categorical data. So that, so here if we see, we are having like gender, married, as well as the loan status. So these 3 columns are categorical, that is alphabets. We have to convert this into numbers. So that is where we'll be using feature engineering. Okay. So we'll be doing the feature engineering part. In this feature engineering, what we do, we just do the categorical feature encoding. We'll be converting categorical features into numerical features. Next part, we are going to we are going to bring it, our entire data set, to a single scale. That is nothing but feature scaling. Might be like min max scaling as well as standard scaling. Fine. So as I told, that since it is a binary classification, what we are going to do, we are going to use logistic regression, which performs well. Fine. And so once we just done with this feature engineering part, what we'll do, we'll just split our data into 2 parts, that is independent as well as dependent. So then we just split our entire data set into 2 parts, train as well as test data. So once we just split this into train and test, then we just do the model training part. So model training. So once you just do the model training, next step would be model testing. Okay, model testing. And see, we have just developed an machine learning model. Okay, ML model. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to build an application, that is web application. So for web application we have to have some front end. So we'll be using this Streamlit to build front end. So this Streamlit is an library which is using Python. Will be with help of Python we can just build the front end part. And next, once we just build this front end, so what happens? We'll be getting this. Just a minute. So we'll be getting a front end part. Somehow it looks something like this. So we'll be getting an front end part. So with some name as well as input fields. And again we'll be getting an submit button. So predict button. Okay. So once we just enter all the details, click on predict, what happens? Prediction will happen, and we'll be getting a result saying that the loan is approved or rejected. So this is the entire control flow of the project. So we'll just build first, then what we do, we just do the deployment part in the EC2 instance. Fine. So without wasting time, let us just start the practical part. So I hope you're able to see my VS Code. So having just created a Python notebook. In this Python notebook, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do all the steps, what all things have been explained. Fine. So here we are trying to divide this entire thing into three parts. First part is loading the dataset. Second part is pre-processing the data, as well as third part is building the loan prediction model. That is, we are going to develop an machine learning algorithm, that is with the help of logistic regression model. Fine. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute this. Okay, just a minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute this cells one by one. First what I'm trying to do, I'm loading the data set. So if you just see, the file name is loan data.csv. So this is a loaded data. I'm just trying to fetch the starting 5 rows. If you just see, we're having, these are the independent variable, this is the dependent variable. This is what we are trying to predict. So I'm trying to find the information of this data frame. As you can see that I'm having like 577 rows, and I'm having like 5 columns. And again, I'm not having any kind of missing values. Everything is perfect. Fine. So next what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do the data pre-processing part. So as I told that we are not focusing on how to build the model, we are focusing only on the deployment part. Fine. So now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do the encoding part. I'm trying to convert this categorical features into numerical features. Fine. So for male 0, female 1, for no 0, yes 1, and so on. And after conversion or after encoding, what I am trying to do, I am trying to verify. So everything is perfect. Fine. So next what I am going to do, I am going to divide our data set into independent as well as dependent. Then I am verifying it. You can see. Fine. So next I'm importing this logistic regression from scikit-learn library. So from sklearn.linear model, import logistic regression. Then what I'm trying to do next, I'm trying to build the model, train the model. So here what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create an object for this logistic regression, and I'm trying to train fit, so that in this phase what happens, your model is training, means it is trying to understand the patterns inside the data. Fine. So once I'm just training is done, so for the future use, what I'll do, we have to create, for deployment part, we have to create an pickle file, or we have to save that model in a local storage, so that I can make use of it. Fine. For the deployment. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use joblib module, so that I can just save the object as a joblib file. Fine. So next, I'm just importing job lib and I'm just dumping it. Dumping it in the sense like I'm just saving it. So if I'm just executing this, what happens? I should be able to get. So this, it is taking two things: joblib.dump. What is the object? Object name. So you can just see the classifier is there. So here what I'll do, let me just delete this, the app.py. Fine. I'll tell you why. Okay, next part, the deployment part. So here what we are trying to do, we are trying to divide the deployment part into 4 steps. First, we are trying to build the front end of the application. Next, loading and pre-processing the data, and this part is done already. Building the machine learning model to automate loan eligibility. So building machine learning model also has been completed. The fourth step is deploying the application. Fine. So what we are going to do, we are going to build the front end of the application. So for that, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use Streamlit. Fine. So I'm importing this Streamlit as well as joblib. Why? Because I'm trying to utilize the saved model. So this part, write file space app.py, I'll explain. Fine. So model is equal to joblib.load. I'm just trying to load the saved model. Next, I'm creating a function. Function name is main, and I'm creating the HTML code. Why? Because I'm creating a front end part. So here I'm trying to create a div tag, which is having a yellow color, as well as will be giving some 13 pixel padding, and I'm creating an header tag, h1 tag, and the color is black, and I'm just aligning it into center, and I'm giving the heading called as check your loan eligibility is the heading. Fine. So next, what I'm trying to do, I'm just created this HTML code. I have to just display it, right? So for that, this Streamlit is having some function, Streamlit st dot markdown. So I'm going to pass this HTML code and make it as true, so that irrespective of the situation, always it will be displayed. Fine. Next, what I am trying to do, so I'm trying to create a input. Fine. So if you just see here, so input in the sense like, so what I am trying to do, I am trying to create a drop down. So how can I create a drop down? Here in Streamlit st dot select box. So since I'm having multiple fields like gender, married, so when it comes to gender, I'll be having two options. I'm giving three options here, that is male, female, other. So we can just select any one of the option, so that will be taken as an input. Fine. So similarly, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do it for the married as well. I'm just creating a field name called as married, and again within that married, I'm just giving true options. In the drop down, I'm giving three options. Sorry, married, unmarried, others. And again, since the applicant income is integer, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to collect it as a integer or number input. Same thing is applicable for loan amount as well. So the loan amount is nothing but the applicant he is applying for. Fine. And so here what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to create a result variable. So what is this result variable is doing? So what I'm trying to predict, it will be stored. So you'll be able to understand after some time. If you just see, I'm trying to create something called as check button. So once you just enter all this data, what happens? If I'm clicking on the check button, the prediction means this data should be taken to my model, and it has to predict. Fine. So for that, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a button. So I'm trying to create a button, and if I'm clicking on this button, what should happen is this prediction function should be triggered. If you just see, I'm creating one more function called as prediction. It is taking all the input data. So where it is coming from? It is coming from here, and it will be passed to the prediction function. Then what I'm trying to do, so the prediction will happen, and it will be returning the prediction. It will be stored in the result, and I'm trying to pass it. So if I'm irrespective, like loan is approved or rejected, so irrespective of the output, it will be given to the result, and it will be displayed. It will be displayed in the output. That is, if I click on this button, I should be able to see your loan is approved, your loan is rejected, something like that. Fine. So next, what I'm trying to do, as I told that I'm creating a prediction function. So here is the implementation. So first I'm trying to convert into numerical. If you just see there, I have just done with the help of map function to the data frame. Since I'm just getting that numbers, what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to convert it manually. So because I'm having a limited numbers. Fine. So next I'll be passing this all these things, all these numerical values to my model or predict. Since I wanted to give it as a 2D array, I'm just passing it as a 2D array. Fine. And again what happens, the prediction will happen. So the prediction is, since we are trying to do the binary classification, always the output will be either 0 or 1. And again we are using what, logistic regression. Always the logistic regression will be giving zeros and ones for a binary classification. Fine. So once we just get this prediction, if I'm getting 0, it is rejected. If I'm getting 1, it is approved. So I'm just returning the predictions. It will be collected where to the result it will be displayed here. Your loan is approved, your loan is rejected. Fine. Next what I'm going to do, now I'll just come back here and explain this. So if you just see, I'm having something called as write file, app.py. Name itself explains write file means what is happening. This line is telling something like this: create a file name called as app.py. So in that app.py, write all this code. Fine. I'll just open this. If I'm just executing this now, you should be able to see something called as app.py file. So app.py file has been created. If I just click on this, what happened? See, what all things it is inside this cell, everything is written or added to this app.py file. Okay, fine. So next what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to so my model is built, my front end is built. So now I'm going to show a quick demonstration of Streamlit application. So let me just open the terminal. So let me just show you the requirements as well. So in order to execute this project, you should be having all these libraries installed: pandas, scikit-learn. So this is optional, this is important. Okay, so now what I'll do, let me just execute the command Streamlit. So I'm trying to verify whether the Streamlit is installed properly or not. Streamlit hello. So if I'm entering this command, what happens? If the Streamlit is installed properly, I should be getting an demo page, means some default page. Wait for 2 seconds. Automatically I'll be getting an web page or an endpoint in a browser. It will open. It is taking some time. So as you can see that an web page has been opened. Fine, you can just see here. Okay, so if you're just getting this page, meaning that your Streamlit has been installed properly. So now what we're going to do, the application which we have developed, let us just execute that. In order to execute that now, what we are going to do, so let me just get inside this thing, my VS Code. If you just see here, let me just close this, stop the server. So now if you just see, this app.py file is the endpoint. So why? Because I'm just having this Streamlit application inside this file, so I have to execute this file itself. Fine, because it is loading the model, it is doing the prediction, and again I'm trying to create the front end inside this file itself. Fine. So I'm trying to create the all these input fields, the check button that is doing predictions, all these things happening in this file itself. Fine. So in order to execute this, what I need to do, I have to just enter Streamlit space. So what is the file name? App.py. So you should be able to see an endpoint. So just a minute. Sorry, my bad. Streamlit space run. I have to enter run app.py so that your application will start to run. That is your front end part. If you just see, let me just come back here. If you just see, if I'm just executing this command, I'll be getting two URL, that is local URL. So local URL is nothing but it is applicable only in your system, that is local host. But what about your network URL? Network URL is a URL which is applicable publicly. You can just if you're having internet, even anybody can access through this same application from the internet. Fine, so it is doing the deployment internally, and it is only for temporary purpose. Until your application is running, it will be applicable. Once this application is stopping, it won't reflect. Fine. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to see my this thing application. So let me just close this one. I'll come again here. So it is running. You can just see it is running. It is taking some time. It is taking some time to execute. So now you can see that my application is running. Fine. So this is your HTML code, and these are the input fields. These two fields, input fields, that is the drop down part. So again, you can just click anything, and again here you can enter any number. So it's a number input. So I can just tell monthly income 15,000. So what about the loan amount? I'm applying for 1 lakh. So definitely, if I'm having like 15,000 monthly income, I'll be able to approve 1 lakh rupees. Yeah, your loan is approved. Okay. So now the application is working fine. It's well and good. So now what is our intention is, we have to just deploy the same application inside the EC2 instance. So I'm already logged into my EC2 instance. Fine. You can just see that is I'm already logged into my AWS account, and I'm inside the EC2. So if you want to get the same dashboard, what you can do, this dashboard, what you have to do, just search EC2. So you'll be getting this option. Just click on this. You'll be landing to this page. So I'll just explain in a detailed way. Okay. So first I'm going to create an instance. Fine, it might take some time. So what I'll do, I'll try to create an instance. I'll launch an instance. So let me just give a name, something called as loan prediction ML. I'll be giving machine learning model or classification model. So you can just choose whatever you want. Fine. So next what I'll do, I'll be selecting Ubuntu. Make sure that you're selecting Ubuntu. If you're selecting free tier, that is more than sufficient. Next what you have to do, you have to just we can go for micro. We're having multiple variants: micro, nano, medium, large. So based upon the application size, you can just choose the instance type. So for my application, this micro is more than sufficient. And you can just if you're not having any new key pair, what you can do, you can just create here. Since I'm having some key pair, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use this. And this very important part, this is most important when it comes to deployment. So make sure that you're saving somewhere in a secured place. Okay. Next what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this allow http. Then very important step is you have to just click on edit. So once you click on edit, what happens, you'll be getting this kind of interface. So what you have to do, just click on add security group rule. So you'll be getting this option. Next what you need to do, you have to just click on this custom TCP, the port range. So the port range should be, you can just give, see, since I'm just using this Streamlit application, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use 8501. 8501. If in case if you're using any application like Flask, Django, this port range will be varying. Okay, so again, source type, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use anywhere, so that it will be applicable, it will be like available for public domain. Fine. Next, so next what you have to do, you have to just use the configurations, the storage. Okay, so for a free user will be having like up to 30 GB. So what we can do, we can just enter 10 GB. So at least 10 GB is required for deep learning model. So since we are just using this basic classification algorithm, 8 GB is more than sufficient. So again, if we just see here, we'll be getting a summary. So what all options we have been selected, no, we'll be getting here. You can just verify once and launch the instance. So it might take some time, it might take some 1 minute of time to create, as well as make sure that your instance is up and running. If you just see, I have just created this before some time. I have just terminated this one. Now I have just created this loan prediction ML. So these are instance. I'll just do something. I'll click on it. Click on this, and you can just see. So what is the instance state? It is pending. It is not running. So meanwhile, let us just copy this public DNS. So now you can just see it is running. So let me just copy this public DNS and place it in a secured place. So because this is also very important. So next what I'm going to do, so my instance is up and running. Let me just explain one very important thing. So you have to just get inside your VS Code. Get inside your VS Code and close this if possible. Next thing what you have to do, just if you're having a bash command, you can just open the bash. Fine. So now very important thing, make sure that the key pair which you have just created, no, it is available in the same folder as the project folder. Okay, so it should be applicable, it should be available in the your project folder. Why? Because this plays a very important role. So you'll be using this this key pair, like in order to deploy, in order to do, or it will be involved in all the steps, most of the steps while deployment. Okay, so next what I'm going to do, I'm entering some few commands. So your key pair name. So why I'm trying to do this? Why? Because I'm opening this file in a secured way, so that it is preventing from any problem. Okay, it's done. Next, you have to just enter the bash command or Linux command, you can just tell. I'm just opening the shell in an interactive mode. So you have to just give this thing, very important thing. You have to just give this thing. I can just show you one shortcut where you can fetch this thing. You can just get inside this connect SSH, just copy this command and enter it here. So what is this? I'm just opening the shell command in the interactive mode with the help of this key pair ubuntu @ your public DNS. So this is the public DNS, this is mine. I'll be deleting after some time. So make sure that you're saving this public DNS. What is this public DNS? This is the public DNS. This part I'm just copied, so I'm just pasted here. So here if I'm just getting inside this connect as well as this SSH client, I'll be getting everything in a single shot, everything in a combined manner. Okay, I'll just take this and enter here. So what happens, it is asking, so what is happening, I'm trying to connect my local bash to the AWS terminal, okay, to the EC2 instance terminal. So if you just see here, so my terminal has been connected to the EC2 instance. Okay, it is up and running. So next thing what I have to do, I have to just install the Miniconda. So since I'm using the machine learning algorithm, or I'm trying to use, I have just built an ML model. So I have to make sure that I should be having a proper environment to run the application. So the best way is I can install the minimal version of Anaconda, that is Miniconda. So this is the command. I'm just searching in the internet, I'm installing that. Yes, it will be downloaded. You can see it has been downloaded and saved. You can see, if you just see here, it is downloaded. Your Miniconda has been downloaded. The next part what you have to do, you have to just enter this thing. So what you have to do, you have to just enter this thing, that is bash so let me just copy this, paste it here. So you have to keep on entering. Okay, so until you get an option to enter S, just keep on entering, clicking enter. Okay, so my bad. So we'll be getting this option, do you accept the license terms? Just type yes, enter. So now what happens, it will be showing you the location where to install this Miniconda. Just type enter. So what happens, it will be installing the Miniconda and you can see the packages are installing here. So what you can do, you can just simply tell yes. You can just tell no. So let me just close this instance. Why? Because what and all changes we have been done, no, it has to take place. So we have to just close the instance, then again we have to connect it back. So I'm just connecting back with the help of the same command, that is ssh-i and your key pair ubuntu @ your public domain. Next what happened, I'm coming back to my EC2 terminal. Fine. So the next thing what I need to do, I need to install all the dependencies. So I'm having all the dependencies. What I'll do, let me just take it and paste it here. So pip install these things. So maybe it might not be affected. So what we can do, let me just tell sudo apt update. So copy this, paste it here. So maybe some, because of some reason, it has not installed all these applications, or sorry, libraries. So now what happened, all the libraries has been installed. So now what I'll do, I'll enter this command. Yeah, it is downloading, you can see. So it is taking some time. What I'll do, let me just install the PyTorch as well. Okay, you can install PyTorch, pip install torch. Fine. So next what we can do, we can just once it is done, what we can do, we can just start to upload all these files from our local system to here. Okay, so let me just wait for a few more seconds. Okay, so what I'll do, let me just create a folder somewhere here. Okay, I'll be creating a folder called as ML model. Okay, you can see I'm having ML model folder. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect from the instance, control D. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to copy. So if you just see here, if I'm just clicking ls, what happens, I need to copy app.py as well as these things which is required, which in order to execute the project, in order to execute the my end-to-end application. So for that, what I have to do, I have to just upload this file app.py, my job.lib file, that is classifier, my model, and that's it. So these two things are required. So what I need to do, I'll just upload. How do I upload? So please concentrate here. SCP, secure copy of what? Of I deploy the key pair. Next, what I need to do, I have to just enter the file name. So copy this file to where? Ubuntu @ your IP address. So sorry, your public DNS. So what is the public DNS? So let me just copy it from here itself. Why? Because I'm not sure that is correct or not. Enter it here. Next what you have to do, so very important thing, colon slash home slash ubuntu slash enter. So you can see this file has been uploaded. Fine. So next what you need to do, you need to upload the ML model. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here. So it is not visible for me. So I just need to enter this classifier. Classifier. Next what I need to do, I have to just get inside here. So I have to enter the folder name. Enter. So let me just do one thing. Let me clear all these things. So this thing is not visible, I don't know why. scp -i this thing. Next the file name, classifier space ubuntu @ so your URL colon / home / ubuntu / ml model. Enter. Bash scp is not found. So I have to just give the space. Okay, sorry, my bad. So next what I need to do, I have to just get inside my EC2 instance. I have to activate the terminal of EC2 instance. Let me just enter this thing. So this is a command I have to enter. Okay, so now I'm inside my EC2 instance terminal. So you can see the difference here. So now what I'll do, let me just check whether the Streamlit application is running fine or not. Streamlit run app not py. So you can see it is running. So let me just copy this itself. I'll come back to the browser. If any problem, let me just so it is taking some time. So if you just see, the application is up and running. So what I can do, I can just take something. Okay. Something is wrong with this. Just a minute. So let me just take this URL. So you can see it is up and running. Check eligibility, your loan is rejected. You can see. So I'm just applying loan for a 1 crore. So if I'm applying for like this, rejected, approved. So if I'm having my salary of like 10,000, if I'm applying for 1 lakh, it will be approved. If I'm applying for 10 lakh, it will be rejected. So I hope you're able to understand how to deploy an application inside the EC2 instance, right? So this is one way. Fine. Thank you for watching the video, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll be keep on uploading the content so that you'll be able to learn a lot of new things. And please click on the bell icon so that if I'm uploading any of the new video, you'll be getting a notification. Fine. So see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.